Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Lawmakers resort to tearing the budget book, saying it had been discriminatory. Even those from ruling alliance alleged leaders of allocating budget for their own constituencies. Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane reportedly attempting to replace Chief of Police for failing to provide details of investigation on the cooperatives fraud case. Russian President Vladimir Putin on his way to the North Korean capital Pyongyang to meet leader Kim Jong-un. And Min Karki of Nepal Army grabs a gold in the men's individual EP category of the 6th National Fencing Competition. APF's Jangiri second. The government's budget for the next fiscal year has received more flack than support. Some lawmakers even tore the budget book as a form of their dissatisfaction, saying that the leaders from ruling alliance had limited the budget to their own interests. The zero and special hour of the parliament session today already saw frustrations among lawmakers that said the budget was not balanced and was limited to top leaders' constituencies. Chairperson of Rashtriya Prajatantra Party Rajendra Lingden went as far as tearing the budget book to vent his anger. Majority others said ruling alliance leaders had distributed budget arbitrarily and overlooked other constituencies, and they also warned of boycotting the budget. Opposition Nepali Congress lawmaker Hridayram Thani and RPP lawmaker Ganendra Shahi expressed dissatisfaction, saying that the budget allocated for infrastructure in Karnali province was low, which in their own words was discriminatory and even disrespectful. Even lawmakers from the ruling alliance mocked the budget, saying that the ministers were solely focused on their own districts and electoral constituencies. They also said the budget was against the sentiment of the ruling alliance and that the change in ruling coalition had failed to produce anything productive. They also said the budget was against the sentiment of federalism. There were also voices that demanded resignation from the Prime Minister and ministers for announcing a budget that was criticized by both the ruling and the opposition sides. Criticisms were also made on the provision that required national ID cards to avail the social security allowances. Lawmakers also raised the issues of foreign policy and national peace and security at today's session. In our Public Voice segment, today we've asked in several provinces what should be the priorities of the local levels in their budget. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
नेताहरुको अलिक नजिकको मान्छेको घरतिर बाटो जाने तिरतिर राम्रो अरूतिरको चाहिँ बाटो पनि नबन्दिने है यस्तो समस्या चाहिँ बढी छ अब त्यस्तो नहोस्
गरीबलाई स्वास्थ्यको पनि उपचार निशुल्क हुन पर्यो कति मान्छेहरु बाटो रोडमा बसिरहेका छन् तिनीहरुलाई सरकारले हेर्नु पर्यो आफैले रोजगारी सृजना गरेर गर्न खोज्नेहरुलाई प्रोत्साहन गर्नु पर्यो स्वास्थ्य शिक्षा रोजगार बाटो घाटो बिजुली बत्ती त्यही नै हो जनताका नहुने आवश्यकतालाई पूरा गर्नुपर्छ यो बजेटले तराईमा एकदमै अहिले मधेसमा अहिले एकदमै पानीको जुन समस्या बढिरहेको छ त्यसप्रति चाहिँ अलिकति बढी नै प्राथमिकता दिनु पर्ला विद्यार्थीको क्षमता अनुसार छात्र अनुसार त्यहाँ टिचर अवेलेबल छैन शिक्षामा पनि लगानी गर्नु पर्यो हरेक ठाउँमा पूर्वाधारको काम भइ नै रहेछ तर मुख्य प्राथमिकता अहिलेको स्थानीय तहले शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य युवाहरुको खेलकुदमा धेरै मद्दत गर्नुपर्छ बाटोघाटोहरु अनि शिक्षा स्वास्थ्यहरुमा बजेट अलि बढी ल्याउनु पर्यो जति पनि बजेट आइरहेछ त्यो अनलाइन हुनु पर्यो सबै जनतालाई थाहा हुनु पर्यो कतिको हाम्रो सरकारले बजेट गरिरहेछ कति लोक सरकारको इन्कम छ समयमा मल बिउ त्यहाँले पहल चालिदिनु पर्यो महिला व्यवसायीहरुलाई चाहिँ स्थानीय तहमा दर्ताको रूपमा जुन दर्ता गर्नुहुन्छ उहाँहरुकोलाई चाहिँ उहाँहरुको फर्मलाई जति सकिन्छ स्थानीय तहले 25% 50% छुट दिए अलिकति महिलाहरुले पनि व्यवसायी बन्नला अलिकति राहत मिल्थ्यो
During the meeting of the Parliament's State Affairs Committee on 27th of March earlier this year, Inspector General of Police Basant Bahadur Kuwar defended Home Minister Ravi Lamichhane, citing proofs against his involvement in the cooperatives fraud scandal were not identified. A secretary of the Home Ministry has said that Home Minister Lamichhane has been exerting pressure on IGP Kuwar to support him to cover up his connection in the scandal. Kuwar had reportedly been unable to ignore the Home Minister's request and supported him back then. Meanwhile, sources say Home Minister Lamichhane has now been making efforts to remove Kuwar from his post. Although the Home Minister has not been dragged into Pokhara's cooperative scandal, his name has been included in the investigation report of Supreme Cooperatives of Butwal. The police investigation report, which states that he had taken 20 million rupees loan from the cooperative, had reached the district attorney's office. Sources have claimed that Home Minister Lamichhane had become vindictive towards Kunwar, saying he did not inform Lamichhane regarding the matter. The Central Investigation Bureau (CIB) of Nepal Police had been conducting investigation on Surya Darshan Cooperative of Pokhara before Lamichhane was appointed as the Home Minister. Lamichhane transferred AIG Kiran Bajracharya after she assumed the post and realized that investigation was being conducted on all the cooperatives that had provided loan to Gorkha Media Group. The team of CIB had been working on the case under AIG Bajracharya has been changed. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has said that removal of the current IGP was impossible. Sources of Home Ministry have said that Lamichhane is looking to appoint Shyam Gewali as the IGP. An official of the Home Ministry has also said that Lamichhane transferred Bhupendra Khatri of Kathmandu District Police Circle and Somendra Singh Rathore of Valley Crime Investigation Office against the will of the IGP. Officials of the Home Ministry have become hesitant to provide classified information concerning national security to the Home Minister. Meanwhile, the Police Act, which is required for police adjustment, has failed to be endorsed. The Supreme Court had issued an order not to make changes in police without implementing required laws. Based on this, the Inspector General of Police cannot be removed. The Parliamentary Probe Committee formed to investigate mishandling of depositors' money by cooperatives has officially begun the investigation process. The meeting of the committee held earlier today held discussions with concerned entities and officially started their work. The committee had passed their work plan on Friday last week, while discussions were held with Land Management, Cooperatives and Poverty Alleviation Ministry as well as officials of the Cooperatives Board. The committee has geared up to hold discussions with the concerned sides along with the ministries and departments in the first phase. The committee that was formed on 28th of May had held its first meeting on 5th of June. It has been allocated a deadline of 3 months since their first meeting to conclude their task. We'll take a short break here. More news coming up. The meeting of the International Development Association (IDA) under the World Bank Group has kicked off in Kathmandu. The meeting is held to discuss the commitment of concessional loans and grants to IDA countries for the next 3 years. Inaugurating the meeting, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal suggested to adopt required policies to ensure peace and prosperity. He said that concessional loans and grants were necessary for Nepal for the generation of employment opportunities in order to attain sustainable development and to intensify economic activities to upgrade itself from the list of least developed countries.
Human capital, particularly in health and education, as well as developing quality and resilient infrastructure and transforming of the lives of our people. Emphasizing digitalization, investment in productive sector, fostering entrepreneurship and enhancing skill development are essential to creating jobs, promoting inclusivity and accelerating growth.
The meeting will continue for 4 days. Around 300 representatives from 7 countries as well as high-ranking officials of the World Bank, including Senior Managing Director Axel van Trotsenberg, have participated in the meeting. This is the most high-level meeting of the World Bank held in South Asia so far. The discussions are set to focus on the commitment of concessional loans and grants to be provided to the IDA countries for the next 3 years, as well as priority areas, policy frameworks, result blueprints, and the necessary financial resources. The Ministry for Finance has said that participants are scheduled to visit the site of 9 projects related to education, drinking water, reconstruction, energy and climate change, among others, that are being operated with the assistance of World Bank. Now, the 21st convention, as mentioned earlier, of International Development Association (IDA) has kicked off in Kathmandu. Representatives from 70 countries are in attendance of the event that will focus on the ways to support the economic development of developing countries like ours. Our colleague Suman Pantha spoke to World Bank's Country Director for Nepal, Faris Haddad Zarvas, and Finance Secretary Madhukumar Marasini.
The World Bank is extremely grateful to the government of Nepal for kindly hosting the third replenishment meeting of the IDA 21 cycle. IDA, the International Development Association, is one of the arms of the World Bank Group, and that focuses on providing concessional financing to the countries, many of the world's poor countries. In the case of Nepal, Nepal is a wonderful case of the impactful use of IDA, because we have been working as partners of the government and the people of Nepal for 60 years now, and it's more or less the 60th anniversary of IDA involvement in Nepal, which has contributed over years to many improvements in the economy and in the lives of people in Nepal, including access to safe water, clean drinking water, access to roads, access to bridges, education, jobs, hydroelectric, hydropower, etc. Over the past years, IDA, along with the partners and under the leadership of the governments of Nepal, has made these concessional financings available to the country, and we're very happy to see, as we heard today, they have made substantive impact and scale for the people of Nepal. So it is only appropriate that Nepal be our gracious host to highlight some of these impacts. And as we see, we have more than 200 delegates from across different countries, recipient countries as well as donor countries, to come here and to talk about what the future of IDA is. And the future of IDA, we are sure, given the impact of the past, is going to be greater financing for greater impact for the people who need it the most.
एक त नेपालमै यस्तो सम्मेलन हुँदाखेरि हामीले हाम्रो अवस्थाहरू उनीहरुको अगाडि राख्न सक्ने भयौं, किन यो सबै आइडाको डोनरहरु हो, वर्ल्ड बैंकको डोनरहरुको मिटिङ हो, त्यो भयो। दोस्रो कुरा चाहिँ अब अहिले पनि हाम्रो वर्ल्ड बैंकको लगभग $2.3 बिलियन बराबरको चाहिँ सहायता चाहिँ हाम्रो अनगोइङ छ नेपालमा। त्यसलाई सुधार गर्ने पनि हाम्रो एउटा प्रमुख एजेन्डा नै छ अहिले। र हामीले यहाँ आउनु भएको विश्व बैंकको प्रतिनिधिहरुलाई केही विश्व बैंक को सहायतामा निर्मित अथवा सञ्चालित आयोजना भिजिट पनि गराउँछौं। र हिजो नै सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्रीले के भन्नुभएको छ, कतिपय हाम्रा कमजोरी पनि होलान्, कतिपय दाताहरुका पनि छन् कि अलिकति कडा खालको शर्तहरु राख्दिँदाखेरि हामीले चाहिँ समयमा चाहिँ त्यो इम्प्लिमेन्टेसन गर्न नसक्ने अवस्था भएछ। त्यसमा तपाईहरुले पनि फ्लेक्सिबल हुनुपर्छ भनेर हिजो सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्रीले त्यो कुरा राख्नु भएको छ। हामी मिटिङमा पनि यो कुरा पनि राख्छौं।
It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we asked you what's your say on resorting to protest by halting supply and the government's nature of not listening to demands without protests. 69% voted for option A, irresponsibility towards citizens, 17% for B, mockery of law, and 14% for C, search for long-term solution. Here's today's question. Why has a practice among ruling leaders pouring budgets in their own region not ended? Your options are A, abuse of power, B, discriminatory approach, and C, politics for election. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. Russian President Vladimir Putin is on his way to the North Korean capital Pyongyang, where he will meet leader Kim Jong-un. The two leaders last met in September in Vladivostok, but this is Putin's first visit to Pyongyang since 2000. The US and Seoul have accused North Korea of supplying Russia with artillery and other equipment, likely in exchange for food and military aid. Both countries deny the existence of an arms deal, but vowed last year to strengthen military ties. Since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Putin has become a pariah to the West and has been seeking allies elsewhere. After North Korea, Putin will visit Vietnam, a longtime ally. Both countries are expected to discuss issues such as trade.
Sports News.
Min Karki of Nepal Army has won gold medal towards the men's individual EP category of the 6th National Fencing Competition. APF's Jangiri came second, while Tarzan Dahal of Bagmati Province and Sulabh Sunwar became third. The tournament is being held by Nepal Fencing Association at the National Sports Council's covered hall in the capital's Tripureshwar. Goma Acharya won gold in the women's individual EP category. Mandira Thapa of APF came second, while Asha Gurung of Army and Anita Adhikari of APF came third. In the women's team EP, APF came first, Gandaki second, and Sudur Paschim and Kosi provinces came third. The competition will continue until tomorrow. In yesterday's tournament, Army's Upendra Shahi won gold medal in the men's individual sabre. APF's Rajendra Gujral won silver and Army's Raghuveer Chand won bronze. In the women's individual EP, APF's Anita Karki came first, Army's Pujan Kumal came second, and Gandaki's Kripa Gurung came third. Army, APF and Bagmati province were ranked in the top 3 positions respectively in the men's team sabre. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.